Hello and welcome all together to today's webinar, as usually hosted by the Open Telekom Cloud Community portal. Together we have two guests with us. It's Sascha Smets and Gerald Kimmel, both from the Swiss Open Telekom Cloud. You may know the Swiss Open Telekom Cloud. It's a third region where we have OTC. The other ones are in Germany and Netherlands, and the newest one is here also in Switzerland. We have our two speakers here together with us. These are the main experts for the Swiss Open Telekom Cloud. That's all from my end. Then I would lead over to Sascha. Thank you for having you here, Sascha and Gerald.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Thank you all very much for taking your time to listen to us. After this session, I hope you will better understand why we built the Swiss Open Telekom Cloud and what you can do with it. So my name is Sascha Smets, and I'm a product manager in the Open Telekom Cloud product management team. I'm the product owner of the Open Telekom Cloud Private and the Swiss Open Telekom Cloud. I'm working with OpenStack-based cloud systems since 2012. But first, let's have a first look at the agenda. So right next, I will show the differences of the Swiss OTC and the public OTC. So not only the differences, also similarities, so they go hand in hand. After that, we jump into the benefits of the Swiss platform. I will explain why and for whom we have built it. And you shouldn't get bored by just listening to me and watching my slides. Gerald will show the Swiss OTC in real life. So he will introduce himself when it's his turn. When he finishes, I will show our further plans with the platform. And after that, you have time for additional questions and answers. So here you see a very high-level overview about the main differences between public and Swiss OTC. For sure, the location is the main differentiator. All installations are within the EU, but as the name indicates, the Swiss OTC is located in Switzerland. So the type of cloud is different too. We have public versus community cloud. I will explain the differences at a later stage. This includes the boarding, by the way. So we have different sets of services as well as different managed services that we offer. So coming to the details right now. So you see our public regions are located in Magdeburg-Biere in Germany and Amsterdam in Netherlands. These are real public regions where you log in once and switch within the GUI between the two locations. So in contrary to this, we have a standalone cloud in Switzerland with our own login. There is no possibility to switch automatically. For sure, it's possible to connect your own Swiss OTC tenant with one on the public if you want to. So for example, with VPC peering, but there's no default connection. But also to mention the similarities, we have 3 availability zones in every location. This already guarantees high business resiliency, and this can be even increased additionally with microservices architectures and infrastructure as code deployments. The Swiss OTC is located in Bern and Zollikofen, so really in Switzerland. The last sentence on the slide may be a bit misleading, but you do not have to be Swiss to use the Swiss OTC. You only need to become a customer in Switzerland. So now we go into the details about what the community cloud is all about. On the left, we see a kind of classic private cloud, for example, the Open Telekom Cloud Private. This deployment is only intended for a single customer. On the right, we see public clouds, like OTC and other hyperscaler clouds. There are many customers on these platforms that may be known or even unknown, as self-boarding is enabled. So you're basically able to board the public cloud with just a credit card. The community cloud in the middle is now a mix of these. We only have a few customers on the platform, but more than one, and we know all of them. And boarding of the platform is only possible when the contract was signed. Additionally, we organize community events for all interested parties to exchange any ideas, views, and foster discussions between our customers and ourselves. For example, about how to expand the platform and so on. So how to get most out of it. So we really have an open ear for our customers' needs and requirements. This is not to be confused with the general OTC community, which Stefan is heading here, but we call it community cloud, right from the definition. Here we see an overview about all available services from public OTC. In the magenta color, you see the ones that are currently installed on Swiss OTC. Next to the standard infrastructure services as compute, storage, and network, the platform offers a lot of additional services from different areas. For example, we have the relational database service, additional security features like web application firewall, encryption, cloud container engine, and so on. As you can see, not all of the possible services are installed. This is due to the needs of our customers in Switzerland. For example, no one asked for a bare metal server so far. As these are quite expensive, we will only install these if they are really needed. But then, in agreement with our customers, we could install and operate those. And they would behave exactly like in the public OTC, so nothing special here. Important is that all services for, I can call them normal workloads, are available, plus many additional ones. There is more magenta than gray here, so we have already installed a lot. And here you see the managed services portfolio of the public Open Telekom Cloud. There's no difference here. All what you see here is available on Swiss OTC as well. The differences you see in the next slide. So we have additional managed services from our team of T-Systems Switzerland that they are already providing for some of the customers on Swiss OTC. For sure, these are offered for all other customers in Switzerland too. So now we are investigating which of those basically to backport to the public OTC, so we can offer them on public OTC as well. So some of the services are a bit more special. Therefore, not all of them are focusing on public cloud customers. They are, let's say, coming from history. However, they are fitting perfectly for our Swiss customers. And what are now the real benefits of the platform? We are serving local requirements, for example, local data storage, data privacy, data security, compliance, and GDPR, especially for the customers in Switzerland. Some of the Swiss local data is not allowed to leave the country, therefore the public OTC or any other hyperscaler is not an option. Especially for these cases, the Swiss OTC is a perfect fit, as we are not bound to any US Cloud Act or anything similar. Like with the public OTC, open standards are in focus. It's based on OpenStack, one of the world's largest open source software projects, and is supplemented by additional open source solutions. These the same sales slogans apply, like on the public, like no vendor login and so on. And therefore, it's also open for all business sectors. This offers a high degree of flexibility and can seamlessly interact with the public OTC in Germany and the Netherlands. And we are not stupid for sure. It can be used with other hyperscalers too, so we are not limited here. As stated, no vendor login, and we want to serve our customers in the best way and according to their individual needs. So we have built up really multi-cloud systems with the customers, also to the hyperscalers with the Swiss Open Telekom Cloud. Next to Telekom's own certificates like PSA and ESARIS and the Zero Outage process, we have the most relevant ISO certificates, as you can see here. We also achieved the SOC 1 and 2 audits, which is very important, especially for our financial customers. We support our customers from banking and insurances in retaining the specific requirements from the, now it's a nice word, Eidgenössische Finanzmarktaufsicht, FINMA, with our expertise. So FINMA is the same like a German BaFin, a Federal Financial Supervisory Authority. Our special expertise is in the area of information security, business continuity, and IT service management. The platform itself cannot be FINMA compliant, but together with the customers, we can achieve FINMA compliance on the platform. On top, we are currently evaluating the PCI DSS compliance. So PCI is the payment card industry. And especially in Switzerland, this is quite important, as you can imagine. But now really enough from my side. Let's move on to Gerald.
Yeah, thank you. So hello from my side. My name is Gerald Kimmel, and I'm one of the architects in OTC Hybrid. And we will take a look at the Swiss Cloud in live. So let's take a look at the console. Probably you know already the console of OTC Public. So this looks very much the same, just the branding changes here on this page. So let's log in. After having logged in, you see the list of the services due to what Sasha already explained, the modular structure we have. The number of services are reduced compared to what you see in OTC Public, but the services itself inside, they function very much the same. I mean, there might be differences due to the underlying architecture is slightly different. For instance, the region selector. Here on top, you see the region EU-CH2. So you cannot switch to EU-NL or EU-DE in this case. It means that the resources you create are trapped inside of this region here. Beneath that, the tenant separation to projects works the same way. So I would say let's create one of the resources and see how this behaves. Let's create an ECS in our case. So let's push create ECS. The region is already selected. You can choose one of the two availability zones for ECS. Choosing one of them effectively will reside the ECS being physically in one of the two data centers inside of Switzerland, or if you leave it to random, an algorithm will choose the availability zones with the most available resources for the flavor you choose. The number of flavors is as well reduced. This is very much tailored to the customer. As Sasha said, the Swiss cloud is something which is very much tailored to the needs of the customer. So if there are different needs for different flavors, we might decide to add them here. The public images, you know, from OTC Public are the same. That's the copy one-to-one, and the system disk you can choose between the specifications of high I/O and ultra high I/O with the same performance measurements you might know from OTC Public. Great, next. You have to choose a VPC and a subnet here. The security groups as well, working the same manner. You can assign an EIP here. This is something that is not really evident. So for a private cloud, it must not be that you have internet connection. Swiss Cloud has it. You can go outside, you can have an internet connection with the same security measurements that you have in OTC Public. So you will have anti-DDoS, you will have WAF, and you will have IDS in front of them. Let's create next. Let's click next. Give it a name. Choose a key pair. You could create backup. You could give it some startup scripts. Let's create next and create now. And in a couple of seconds, you will have your ECS here and the IP configured with it together. So on the top left, you see that this is branded as Open Telekom Private, which means that the customer can choose to have this environment being built up in his own data center. There is not really a need to have internet connection, as I said. You could have it as a private cloud inside and having it connected by the core switches to his corporate network, or as it is done in this case, having it a direct connection from the corporate network to the private cloud. Why we call this often Open Telekom Cloud Hybrid is because you can combine the private and the public environment. So you can have a mixture of the resources from both environments. When you're doing a little bit more cloud native, the advantage is that your curl commands, your OpenStack CLI commands, or your Python code, or Terraform, or Ansible scripts, whatever you're using, they are just working the same way on both sides. All you have to do is choose your authentication, and that's it. In the Help Center, when we take a look here, this is as well the same information basically as you have on OTC Public. Where there are differences, like for example in the regions and endpoints. They are named, so each service has its different endpoint pointing to that environment. Beside that, the API is just working in the same manner. So your scripts just choose a different endpoint. What you might have realized is that the Help Center and the main page for Swiss Cloud for the moment have a different look and feel compared to what you see in OTC Public. This is because of the update process. So sometimes updates are proceeded in the same time, in the same manner. Sometimes there is a slight delay between them. And this Sasha will explain now when it comes to the roadmap explanation in detail.
So just a few more sentences from my side. As you have noticed, and Gerald explained, GUI and Help Center looking different. So this is on the public side. They just changed recently, and we will do the same changes on Swiss OTC with a little time delay. But this will happen very soon. So you see this on the roadmap on short term. This means, within the next month, we will do that. We will do the switch over. It's always our, let's say, strategy that we start with updates, upgrades on the public cloud first. And after that, we move to the Swiss OTC and then also to other hybrid installations. So we do them one after the other, but this will happen very soon. So also, you may have seen that CCE was upgraded on public cloud to 1.25, and we also did that now on the Swiss OTC already. So this happens really a few days after. So very quick with the console alignment and the Help Center alignment. This takes a bit longer. And there are some more services that we are currently evaluating with our customers to maybe deploy them on Swiss OTC. So you see, for example, SFS Turbo with our shared file system, the data warehouse service from the big data area, data replication service, and resource management service from the management areas. So these could be deployed within the next month. It's not 100% decided, but we are discussing it. And if you're interested in the details, what these services really are, please see the OTC web pages. Everything is described there. So these are exactly the same services that we have there. And also we plan to expand the flavor portfolio as well. So Gerald has shown that we only have the general purpose flavor there, so the S3 currently. But maybe we may add the D2 flavor, especially here also in combination with DWS, that we have some more big data services on the platform. And so the D2 flavor has some local disks. And we may also add flavors with GPU for artificial intelligence and machine learning workloads. So we are discussing these. As you can imagine, they are also very expensive. Therefore, we need to be careful here. But we are looking into that. And this was now the outlook of what we are going to do. And now finally, here you see how the Swiss OTC really fits into the OTC portfolio. So it's perfectly between the public OTC on the right side and the different sizes of the private OTC on the left. Additionally, you can see that the Swiss OTC is based on our OTC private, so formerly known as the OTC hybrid. This is also what Gerald explained. So we called it OTC hybrid before, but we, due to all the misunderstandings, we decided to rename it to OTC private. So on the left side, this is the OTC private, and you can always build the hybrid cloud with those components if you want to. So for example, with a private cloud and the Swiss OTC, or a private cloud and the public OTC, or whatever. So this is this burst arrow that you can see here. And bursting is one of the best descriptions for the use cases, but there are for sure many more. Swiss OTC is deployed in a T-Systems data center, but a multi-tenant hybrid like this or a private cloud can be put into any data center. And this is also what Gerald mentioned with the slogan OTC private on the top left of the GUI. So it can be put anywhere. And also we can scale that like it's really needed. So a small private cloud really seamlessly up to the huge public cloud. And now, this was it. Back to Stefan.
Thank you a lot, Sasha. Thank you a lot, Gerald, for this great presentation. So as promised, we still have plenty of time for the Q&A. So I already saw 2 questions in the chat. Maybe let's start with them. The first one is, why is the region named EU-CH2 and not just EU-CH? So why is there the 2?
Yeah, that has also historical reasons. So we had an OTC hybrid, we had one in Switzerland already that had the region name EU-CH, and we couldn't use the same name as the platforms are existing in parallel. So we had to have EU-CH2, which is a bit unlucky, but as I would say most of the people using the platform are using it via scripts, it shouldn't be a problem.
Thank you for this answer. The second question is there a Swiss OTC Leistungsbeschreibung, so service description and the price calculator also available?
Yes, so the service description, I think, is not downloadable from the website yet, but we are working on a new landing page for Swiss OTC, so you will find it soon. We have it also on request, so please just contact me, I will provide that. And a price calculator, actually, I don't know if Tristram is here, but or Martin Hoffmann, they are just working on that. It's almost finished, so last week I saw it already, but we want to deploy it in May. So it will be visible from this new landing page, and then everyone can access it, also from the internet.
Really cool. Thank you also for this. So when you want there the service description of the Swiss OTC, you see already here on the last slide our contact details. Just give us a small email ping, then we can send this to you. And as soon as the price calculator is available, for sure you will also know this via the probably a release note, maybe also community posting. So we will see that we communicate also this then. Next question is the Swiss region on the status dashboard? And you have sent the status.otc-service.com link.
Not on this one, but we have an own status dashboard. If I'm correct, it's status.sc.otc-service.com. So we have an own status dashboard, and maybe Stefan, you can also explain the OTC app and the details.
Correct. So you also have the possibility to use our Open Telekom Cloud app, available in the Apple App Store, in the iOS Store, in the Google Play Store, and also when you use a Huawei device, also there you will find our Open Telekom Cloud app in their store. So there you have the possibility to also then activate push notifications from the status dashboard of the Swiss region. And then when there should be something not working, then you will at least get information directly to your mobile device. So feel free to simply search Open Telekom Cloud app in whatever store you are using. There you will find it. Then you can go into the details, into the more menu, and there you will have the writer push notifications, and then you have there at the very top right status dashboard, and you can select there in the region drop down Swiss, and then activate every push notification you want for every service you are using or you are interested in, and then you will get proactively a push notification to your device whenever there is something down, and even more important or happier than for us, when it's again up and running. One more question is where to get the Swiss Open Telekom Cloud SOC 1 and SOC 2 compliance documents.
Also from me. So please contact me and I will organize it.
Perfect. So you see, with the Swiss Open Telekom Cloud, we don't have yet all information available at our homepage, as we have it with the German and Netherlands region. So when you need there any detailed information, ping us via email. Here you have the emails. Then we are happy to help you there out. The next question would be, for the classic OTC, there's a customer self-service for sign up. How does this work for the Swiss one?
Yes, so this is one of the differences, that we do not have this kind of self-boarding as a public cloud has. So you have to have a contract with T-Systems Switzerland, and therefore you have to engage with sales in Switzerland to get a tenant here. any customer needs to contact sales in Switzerland. We should have added it here, but we have contacts for sales in Switzerland. We can maybe add it to the presentation that will be shared later.
Correct. We will add there a one pager. Then you will have the contact details from the sales team of the Swiss region, and then potential customers can directly contact them. Or, as already said now a few times, we three here are also happy to help you out there. So whatever way you choose, you will find your solution. If there are no other questions, then this time we had a little bit a shorter webinar. So thank you a lot to all participants for joining us here. Thank you a lot for Sascha and Gerald for having this nice webinar here. A lot of helpful and interesting informations for us. So thank you a lot and see you in the next month again in the next webinar. Thank you all. Bye.
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 Bye-bye.